is Devin Amaral. I'm Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of Parmesan Pharmaceutics.
Hi, I'm Anhel Sam, Chief Financial Officer and co-founder of Parmesan Pharmaceutics.
Today we're going to be talking about our new drug, Epione, which is a partial mu agonist indicated for the treatment of pain.
This presentation will look at the work of clinical development, regulatory affairs, medical affairs, and marketing teams during the development of Epione and the importance of industry pharmacists during this process.
Parmesan Pharmaceutics headquarters are located in Elk Grove, California, where the company was founded in 2009. Our vision is to be the innovative leader in advancing therapeutic options for pain management. Our mission is to develop safer therapeutic alternatives to improve patient care and quality of life. Our values include integrity, which is to remain consistently honest and ethical, passion, which is to keep the safety and well-being of others in mind at all times, and excellence, to provide the best treatment options available to our patients. We would like to introduce our executive board, whom you will be hearing from throughout our presentation today.
My name is Trick Lee and I'm the Director of Clinical Development.
My name is Owen Ma, the Clinical Scientist.
Our drug discovery started in April 2009. We tested 10,209 molecules. Doxiretin returned some promising results. So at the beginning of 2015, we prepared and initiated phase 1 clinical study. For the mechanism of action, the molecule binds to and activates mu-opioid receptors in the central nervous system and periphery. Activation of mu receptor reaches 70% of CAMP formation as compared to full agonist morphine. Releases of neurotransmitter causes euphoria. Although the molecule has the opioid backbone, the side chains will lower its efficacy. In phase 1 study, we determined drugs toxicity and maximum tolerated dose. Within the study population, we gave doxiretin 1 mg sublingual film once daily, increased by 1 mg intervals weekly. After phase 1, among 45 adults enrolled, the analgesic effect observed starting at 5 mg and 10 mg observed as maximum dose without any respiratory and CNS depression. 80% of the patients have acceptable respiration and CNS function as 50 mg. For those patients who reached primary endpoints, naloxone 2 mg and oxygen supplementation was given.
We began phase 2 in March 2016 in order to determine the efficacy and safety of doxiretin. Patients included in this trial were 18 to 80 years old and have experienced chronic pain for at least 6 months due to the conditions listed. Pain must be rated a score of 6 or higher. Exclusion criteria include history or current opioid use, history of drug or alcohol abuse, pregnancy or breastfeeding, neurologic disorders, or concomitant use of CNS depressants. Patients were randomly assigned to a placebo group or a treatment group, which started with a 5 mg sublingual film of doxiretin once daily. The dose was titrated weekly by 1 mg until a pain score of 3 or lower was achieved. Patients then remain on the titrated dose for 3 months. Our efficacy assessment is pain relief, which was done via the BS-11 scale. We use intent to treat for result analysis. Safety endpoints are respiratory and CNS depressions, which are monitored via oxygen levels and sedation scales. 340 patients were enrolled and randomized into 2 groups. 2% of patients were lost in follow-up due to reasons unrelated to the adverse effects of our study. From our graph, we can see that at the 5 mg dose, over 60% of patients felt adequate relief, defined as a pain score of 3 or lower. As the dose is titrated, there is greater percentage of relief at 10 mg and 15 mg, with only a modest increase in between. Adverse effects reported by the patients are generally mild and didn't prevent patients from keeping up with the regimen. At 10 and 15 mg, 13 and 24% of patients experienced CNS depression respectively. Naloxone was given and reversal was effective. No coma or death resulted. With the success of our phase 2 trial, we began phase 3 in January 2018. The purpose of this phase is to verify and confirm the efficacy and adverse effects data we found in phase 2. Due to our competitor's recent market release of another chronic pain medication, we chose to compare our treatment to our competitors at their standard recommended dose. Our patient criteria were the same as that in Phase 2. Since we found that there was modest increase in efficacy with each additional milligram of drug, we chose to eliminate dose escalation. Thus, our treatment groups are 5, 10, and 15 mg of doxiretin, a standard dose of our competitor's new drug, and a matched placebo. Primary efficacy and safety assessments were the same as that in our previous trial. 3,036 patients were enrolled in the study and were randomly assigned to one of the 5 treatment groups. Our Phase 3 trial is not yet concluded, but here are the current data we've gathered. 1% of patients in doxiretin 5 mg group experienced respiratory depression, compared to 2% in the 10 mg group and 5% in the 15 mg group. However, our competitor's drug resulted in respiratory depression for 47% of patients, which is 9 times as high as our highest doxiretin dose. Other adverse effects were similar to our Phase 2 trials and did not prevent patients from keeping up with the regimen. Our assessment and efficacy in pain reduction showed our competitor's drug had better efficacy by lowering the patient's average pain rating from 9.7 to 1.8, whereas doxiretin 5, 10, and 15 mg had an average pain score of 4.8, 3.8, and 3.1 respectively. However, when we look at the oxygen saturation level, doxiretin showed a plateau effect at higher doses, similar to the results we found in our Phase 1 trial. Our competitor's medication, however, displayed a linear decrease in O2 saturation with no apparent leveling. Although with strict monitoring, doxiretin 15 mg was not shown to cause any fatal harm and can be quickly reversed with naloxone, we chose to only market the doses which were shown to not require any oxygen assistance. By the end of this Phase 3 trial, we will proceed with marketing the 5 and 10 mg doses of doxiretin. With the level of detail that is required in clinical development, a pharmacist can be of great value to the team. At the bottom of the pyramid, we see that a pharmacist can do some functions the same as any other clinical development specialist, such as database research on the background of a disease or designing molecular entities. However, in the middle section, we see that with their experience in pharmaceutics and experience in clinical patient interactions, a pharmacist would excel in certain other functions. Some of these include designing clinical trial protocols, designing appropriate drug formulation and dosage form, and measuring a drug's pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic properties. At the top of the pyramid, though, we encounter some activities that are more exclusive to a pharmacist due to their license. These include, but are not limited to, ordering and analyzing patient labs, counseling patients, and directly assessing a patient. Thus, we see that a pharmacist can play a vital role in the clinical development team. And now I will pass it over to the Department of Regulatory Affairs.
Hello, I'm Christina Stevenson and I'm Chief Operating Officer.
My name is Valerie Lee and I am Director of Regulatory Operations. For the timeline, there are a few main components. We start off the timeline with the preclinical trial, where we have IND preparation and the clinical site selection. Then we have the initial IND submission to end the preclinical trial. After, we head into the clinical development phase, where there are 3 phases, phase 1, 2, and 3. During phase 1, there is an ongoing submission with IND support and clinical trial support. By the end of phase 3, we have a market application submission and a pre-BLA or NDA meeting. During the FDA filing, approval, and launch, we have a safety update.
After meeting with the FDA, the regulatory team at Parmugon Pharmaceuticals assembled and completed an IND comprised of clinical and non-clinical data, the investigator brochure, and the appropriate regulatory forms. Expedited programs were not used as Epione did not address unmet serious medical need. The IND was approved before moving on to phase 2 trials. Upon completion of phase 3 trials, the regulatory team at Parmugon Pharmaceuticals assembled and submitted an NDA. This application was submitted with a total of 20 sections covering all appropriate information from product labeling to clinical data to relevant patent information. All required regulatory forms were also included with the NDA. pharmacists within the regulatory team help to streamline application processes, act as the primary communication liaison between the FDA and pharmaceutical company, and stay up to date with policies and procedures involved in the drug development process. The regulatory affairs pharmacists play a crucial role within the company to maintain communication within all departments and bridge the combined efforts of the team. Additionally, regulatory pharmacists keep the company on track in meeting all regulatory and safety requirements. And now we'll hear from our medical affairs department.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Huang and I'm the Chief Medical Officer.
My name is Jay Warwick. I'm Director of Global Medical Affairs.
Our medical affairs team play a big role in bridging the gap between clinical development and marketing departments of Epione from pre-launch to post-launch. They help identify the key point of drug utilization in the market by using evidence-based knowledge and help improve the outcome in post-marketing launch. The team attended congresses this year held by the American Pain Society Scientific Meeting and American Academy of Pain Medicine Annual Meeting last year to establish and maintain relationship with key opinion leaders and stakeholders in pain management. Our medical affairs teams include the Advisory Board, Medical Science Liaison, Pharmacovigilance, Health Economics and Outcomes Research, Medical Information, and Medical Publications. All of the departments are overlooked by the Advisory Board, which is composed of the directors from each department. All the departments serve a crucial role in the development, launch, and post-launch of our new product. Using the gathered information from the clinical team by medical information and medical writer team, medical science liaison help educate and maintain relationship with the public and healthcare providers. While on the other hand, the health economics and outcomes research help collect data from post-marketing and follow-ups to help pharmacovigilance monitor and improve our product safety and efficacy.
Medical affairs plays a vital role throughout the development, launch, and post-launch of Epione. During preclinical development, strategic medical planning is utilized to determine the current market for chronic pain analgesics and key opinion leaders in the field. The development of a publication plan begins during preclinical development to post-marketing. This includes careful consideration and critical thinking on gaps in therapeutic treatment for chronic pain with our competitors. Throughout clinical trials to post-marketing, signal detection for any adverse or rare events is crucial to maintain the safety of Epione to our patients. Additionally, education on the development and progression of Epione to Parmegon is conducted by our medical affairs team throughout clinical trials. During our Phase 3 trials, our team develops a formulary dossier for submission that continues throughout post-marketing. Phase 4 research, which includes competitor differentiation, chronic pain management insights, and safety information, will also be conducted during post-marketing. Each department in our medical affairs team serve as a valuable asset to the successful launch of Epione. Pharmacists utilize their clinical knowledge and expertise in the field to create, innovate, and improve Epione from clinical development to its post-launch. Critical thinking, strategic planning, communication, and interpersonal skills are essential for pharmacists in our medical affairs team when collaborating with key opinion leaders, healthcare providers, patients, and other departments of Parmegon. The value of industry pharmacists in the various departments of our medical affairs team allows for the successful development and launch of Epione. And now I will hand it over to our marketing research and commercial operations department.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Magnus and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer.
And I'm Jessica Badawi, I'm the Director of Commercial Operations.
At Parmegon, our marketing leaders spearhead the commercialization and brand development process. Our head of marketing consists of our global marketing president, as well as chief marketing officers and directors who are responsible for managing the success of the commercialization process of our current developments. These world-renowned leaders in business and clinical experts help ensure proper commercial planning amongst departments to maximize the value of our products, such as our commercialization and sales department, along with marketing operations. Our commercialization and sales department play instrumental roles in the promotion of Epione. Sales trainers have extensive knowledge about Epione and are equipped to train our drug representatives whose entrepreneurial minds and clinical expertise are critical for building our repertoire to various physicians, patients, and insurers. Meanwhile, our marketing operations branch focuses on brand development. Our marketing analysts perform key research such as surveying prescribing patterns in order to identify our target audience. Our brand experts use data collected to aid in clinical trial design and selecting patient and provider relevant clinical outcomes to be used as primary and secondary endpoints for study. The role of marketing at Parmegon is crucial for the successful launch and production of newer, better, and safer therapy. During the preclinical development phase, our marketing operations team focuses on obtaining rights to top-of-the-line therapies and obtaining licensing permission to potentially add to Parmegon's pipeline of top-notch pharmaceutical assets. Once the FDA approves IND submission, our marketing analysts conduct critical secondary research to understand patient and prescriber behavioral patterns, as well as primary research that caters to discovery of specific outcomes. During Phase 2, our marketing department begins to work more closely with regulatory affairs and clinical development to develop pertinent and marketable trial endpoints and clinical trial design to ensure patient and prescriber-specific outcomes. During Phase 3, our sales and branding teams begin working full force to develop an appropriate brand strategy to appeal to our target audience, and our sales trainers effectively communicate to our drug representatives the ins and outs of Epione to express to our target audience. Meanwhile, drug experts aid in the development of package inserts and appropriate product labeling. We are currently in the pre-launch phase. Upon approval of our marketing application, our marketing department continues to collect and assess data on Epione's safety and efficacy profile via patient and prescriber reporting, making amendments as needed. Epione has been proven to provide superior pain relief with a decreased frequency of dosing and low risk of abuse potential. Our marketing strategy aims to stress Epione's unsurpassed safety profile along with adequate chronic pain relief. Our target audience based on research should be patients, clinicians, and insurers. The subgroup of patient segments to target should be those relying and stabilized on opioids for the management of chronic pain, those dissatisfied with their current treatment for management of chronic pain, and those who are adherent to therapy. The subgroups of physician segments we would like to target, just to name a few, are primary care physicians, anesthesiologists, addiction specialists, injury specialists, ER physicians, those involved in sports medicine, as well as insurers. Here at Parmegon Pharmaceutics, we stand by our mission statement to provide optimal alleviation and reduce the impact of substance abuse around the world. We strongly feel that prescribers will find comfort in prescribing a safer, efficacious alternative to pain management. Similarly, we focus on patients feeling better knowing that they can effectively manage pain symptoms without unwanted side effects and decrease administration times. Meanwhile, insurers and payers will find strong investment potential for their patients by decreasing the amount of hospitalization visits associated with respiratory depression as opposed to the active comparator.
Our advertising of doxiretin includes multiple avenues such as journals, commercials, and even podcasts. Our aim is to help prescribers know more about the drug without adding on any unnecessary information in order to gain their trust in our product. Our post-marketing research includes our Phase 4 clinical trials to improve patient outcomes. The aim is to identify and evaluate the long-term effects of doxiretin over a 10-year period. We will monitor doxiretin via its efficacy, safety, and side effects. Prescribers and patients are instructed to report any adverse effects through FDA's MedWatch and through annual surveys. Pharmacists play instrumental roles in marketing research and strategy. Effective promotion of investigational drugs can be executed best by pharmacists. The appropriate information that needs to be conveyed in the promotion of a drug, understanding of the target population, ability to effectively compare investigational drugs to those currently on the market with sound reasoning, and a desire to push a new therapeutic remedy for the population are invaluable characteristics a pharmacist can offer. The role of pharmacists in marketing is also crucial for clinical development, in which case they may aid in concept evaluation and trial design. Thank you.
PharmDs are an integral part of Parmegon Pharmaceutics. PharmDs can contribute to preclinical research and drug development with our deep understanding of pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics. As healthcare advocates and drug experts, PharmDs can address the needs of patients and guide the design, execution, and analysis of clinical trials. With our clinical knowledge and experience, PharmDs can readily communicate, address, and educate other healthcare providers, government agencies, as well as the general public. Our PharmDs are truly an asset. From all of us at Parmegon Pharmaceutics, thank you for listening.